Raven Software have been scamming us for 11 months, and I don't mean in a monetary value, I mean in a content value, what we could have been having in terms of map design and what we've had. Let's get into this a bit deeper and discuss why I feel like this, what's triggered this, because there is one map that has done this, and why I'm kind of disappointed that it's reached this point. What's going on, guys? It's Smudgy here. Yeah, like I said, they've been scamming us, and we'll get to why I think that is in the first place. Let's start off with the maps we've actually received and why that's an issue in itself, but why they probably would have gone away with it had they not released this map that I'll talk about a bit later. So throughout Cold War's lifecycle, we've seen a fair few remastered maps, just a couple sprinkled in here and there, I guess. And don't get me wrong, you know, I love revisiting old maps. I've been playing Call of Duty for many a year. It's nice to see them back on the screen, but ultimately I don't purchase a new Call of Duty each year with the intention to play remastered maps. I purchase it with the intention of playing a new game. You know, that's the point of buying a new game each year. You're supposed to get new content. And of course we have got, you know, original maps for the game, and that's fine, that's all well and good. I think it would have been better if we'd seen more original maps and less remastered. I think we could have seen better original maps, but given the circumstances, the time they had to develop it, the circumstances they were developing the game, you know, mid-pandemic, working from home, you know, there's a lot of variables that kind of fed into Cold War, and why, whilst it's still a good game, it's probably underwhelming based on what we thought we'd get. There was still a hell of a lot of creativity and effort coming from the devs, and I'll be the first to say that I don't think I ever unfairly call out devs or Raven Software or Activision, but it feels like we've given them, or I've given them, maybe not the community itself, a lot of credit for working through a tough time, for still getting a fairly decent game out, and then they've kind of thrown in this map at the end, and it's a good map, and we'll get on to why I think it is such a good map in a bit, and then expected us to be grateful for it when it feels like these are the levels of the maps we should have been receiving all game cycle. And at this point I would just like to say, obviously they had a ton on their plate in terms of Warzone integration, designing the full game, including, you know, zombies campaign. There was a lot they had to do, and when I say that we should have had these maps throughout all the game, I don't mean every single map, but I think more than one would have been nice. And of course that map is Deprogram. If you've not had a chance to play on it, it does incorporate 2 red doors, which I think is a fantastic feature. It adds a different aspect to it. And there are issues within the map in terms of, you know, people can camp in the red door rooms and you can't see them. You know, there are issues that could be ironed out. I don't think it makes it an inherently bad map. It's very fast paced, it's very aggressive. It feels like one of the only maps that rewards aggressive play. There's enough routes and cover that you can make it from one side of the map to the other without getting picked off by campers. I think it's a very good map. It's an example of what we could have had, and it feels like to have such a fun and kind of novel map 11 months into the cycle that we've kind of been scammed the previous 11 months. And I know at launch, you know, maybe we didn't expect to see any maps like this because of, you know, the issues they'd ran into during game development. I get that. I think most people are very willing to give them a free pass almost, just because of the issues that they would have run into in terms of time frame and situation. And I don't think that's unfair. I think they should be given that kind of benefit of the doubt. But it's been 11 months now and we've not really seen anything in terms of innovative maps. As far as like map tiers goes, Combined Arms, the maps are great. You know, I don't have really a bad word to say about them. Then it probably goes gunfight maps, which I truly believe have only been so popular because of Face Off and 6v6 Face Off. And then it comes multiplayer maps at the bottom. They're pretty average. There's nothing outstanding about them, and that's a shame. Because multiplayer used to be the core focus, and I understand it's not anymore. You've got Warzone on the side, but from a multiplayer point of view, like there's nothing to scream or shout about in terms of map design. There's nothing that I wake up and think, wow, X is a fantastic map. Like, that doesn't happen. And that's a shame in an 11-month cycle that Deprogram's the first map I've gone, wow, this is actually a really well designed map. This is a innovative, interesting new design of a map. It incorporates red door travel, that's awesome. It feels aggressive, it feels fast paced, it feels like if people are playing corny, there's multiple ways to get to them. You know, there's no other map that, for me personally, makes me feel like that. And maybe, you know, Deprogram was a stroke of genius from the devs, and the maps we've been receiving previously are kind of the standard. And if that's the case, that's quite sad because, like I said, the maps are average, but we've seen nothing above average until Deprogram. You know, you're going to have a core set of average maps in the game. That's going to happen, right? And then you expect to have 3 to 4 maps that are going to be above that when they come on the voting system, everyone's like, oh shit, yeah, I want to play that map. And we've not seen that. When we've been picking on the voting system, we're picking between the best of 2 averages. Oh, this map's easier to camp on, I don't want to play on this one. Or this map's easier to get long shots on, I want to play on this one. Like, there's no positive way to pick a map. You don't pick a map because you like it, you pick it because it's easier to root out campers, or it's easier to get long shots, it's easier to get, you know, behind cover kills. There's no positive way, I want to play this map because it is fun. That doesn't happen, whereas when I play Deprogram, it is fun. Obviously, you know, it's still early days, I'm sure people will find ways to camp on it, they always do, but at the moment it's fun. You know, I don't really have many complaints with it. I just tend to avoid the red room at times, or you've got to make sure you go in there and kind of take control of it. Those are really the only issues. The issue for Raven Software, though, is that Deprogram set a new tier of map within their Cold War lifecycle, and they've released it with less than a month of the kind of original year to go. And that doesn't sit well with me, because it almost feels like they have taken our time and money and given us these maps in exchange, and then in the last month gone, here's a few pennies back, can you be grateful for that? And I'm like, no, I paid for a game and I wanted the best experience, and you've shown me you're capable of providing that experience, you're capable of producing incredible maps, but you've not. And maybe it's a case of they wanted to wait for the right time to bring in Deprogram in terms of lining it up with their seasons and the story, and I get that. It does make sense in terms of the seasons to bring it in now, but that's no excuse for not bringing in other innovative designs earlier on in the seasons. It doesn't have to be Red Door themed, just something different. And it's not that every map will be like this. It just needs some proof that they're trying to push multiplayer forward, because it is drastically falling behind at the moment. Just some proof that, you know, they're at least trying to keep it alive, trying to draw new players in, keep original players on there for longer, and just actually make people want to play something other than 6v6 face-off or Nuketown or Hijacked. There's just nothing there. Like, Deprogram could have set a new tier, and it has set a new tier, and it is the only one in that tier because the game is essentially over in, 3 weeks when Vanguard comes out, when the majority of its player base leaves. You'll probably retain like a core of like die-hard fans for it, which is fine, but you've kind of lost the opportunity to really start to elevate multiplayer. Maybe we'll see that in Vanguard. Who knows? So I hope we do. I hope we see something, just good maps, you know, just maps that reward aggressive play, that reward running around. I personally don't think it's that difficult. Maybe it is, maybe I'm being too harsh, but do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Am I being too harsh? Maybe you just hate Deprogram and so this has just never crossed your mind. Let me know in the comments. As always, if you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you'll have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.